I got a call from a young man from Florida on yesterday. He left a message. He wanted to talk to me. I called him back last night, and he and his buddies have been watching the YouTube channel and listening to the show somewhat, but mostly YouTube. And they really like where I'm coming from. Uh, they talk about the fact that there are other, they go to different churches. They have their own church. Well, he did. He has his own church. In that he goes to his own church there in Florida. But what he hear here and what we talk about is really, it's just a little more in depth. It's more insight, and it's really helping him. He went and apologized to his mother. He said he became a Christian at 18, and so he heard that he should go. He heard the show on YouTube, and that he should go and apologize. So he went and apologized to his mother for resenting her, being angry at her. It was a freeing up for him. But he and his buddies have one issue. Well, not an issue, because they want to believe this, but they can't believe it, but they want to believe it. And that is when I say that there is no such thing as racism, that it does not exist. It's an illusion. It is made up. It's a lie. And that's why we have not been able to solve this problem, because it really doesn't exist. And he was like, Jesse, I almost believe it, but I can't believe it. It was so funny. And so I called you because I wanted you to help me to make sense of it. And he even actually recorded me explaining what I meant by there is no such thing as racism. So I explained to him that, especially for Christians, see, what I've come to understand, and is coming to understand, but I pretty much got this one, is that Christians see life as it really is. And because as a son or daughter of God, you overcome the illusion of darkness. And so if you're a son of God or a daughter of God, you see from the light of God and not from the darkness of the prince of darkness, the evil one. And you see that as a son or daughter, you see that our battle is a spiritual battle. It's a warfare between good and evil. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spirits and wickedness and demons in high places. It's either right or wrong, good or evil. You see that so clearly as a son or daughter of God. And you also see that there's no such thing as racism. I believed that at one time, that racism existed. There was such a thing as racism, and this happened when I moved to California. And because I believe that, I thought all white people were racist. And the one thing I've noticed is that when you believe in racism, 99.9% of the time it's toward white people, and you just don't believe one white person is racist. You believe all white people are racist, even the ones that you're married to, that you're friends with, and whatever you work with. And you get along with those white people only until there's a disagreement about race or about something. You get mad, and automatically you think your wife, your husband, your white wife or your white husband is a racist. So you just don't believe it toward one person. You believe it toward all people, because you can't believe a lie like that just to one white person. And so when I explained to him that it's a spiritual battle, it's either right or wrong, and it has nothing to do with color, he was like excited. He's like, wow, it makes sense. It just makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and my buddies and I are going to discuss this a little bit more. And so I like the fact that he really want to know. And what it is, he's heard that all of his life. I even said to my friend Sean Hannity on his show, when I was there promoting my book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood, that there's no such thing as racism. And his first response, no, there is racism. There's the word racism, but it's a made-up word. You notice how the children of darkness, the words that they don't like, they remove them. We can no longer, they try to forbid us from saying those words, and a lot of people don't say them anymore. And so when they want to control you with words, they got to add words, and they take them away. And it's based on how they feel about those words. So that's a made-up word. It's been used by the race hustlers. It's been used for 8 years by Barack Obama, and it's all to divide and conquer. If you know that racists using that word, it hasn't made anything good. It hasn't brought us together. It has not made black people's lives better. It has not put love or make white people feel good. So why keep using that? And so it was a good conversation with this young man on the phone yesterday or last night about that word. It's a made-up word, folks. And the children of God should know this. I even asked him, is there anywhere in the Bible where it talk about racism? That our battle is racist, based on the physical. He's like, no, it's not in there. Then why would you use it? Why would you come up with something new? It's like the liberals changed the words in the same manner that the folks who rewrite the Bible generation after generation, they changed the meaning of the Bible. They changed the words down through the generation based on what's happening in the culture at the time. It's not based on what is right. It's not inspired by God down the line. It was inspired by God by the original folks who wrote the Bible. Peter, Paul, John, and all those folks. But after that, it changed. Inspiration ended for the most part. And the Bible has been written by people who is going by intellectual knowledge and not inspiration from God. And that's why it's confusing. For an example, in the Bible, the preachers now, and I don't know if this is even written in the Bible, but I know that the preachers teach with sin. They say you can't practice sin. You can sin, but don't practice sin. What's the difference? What difference does it make? Where is she now? But anyway, they say you can't practice sin. That's not from God, but that is taught and believed because the people who are teaching it are sinning. You got to go within and know the truth.